You might have to go straight to the Blackout.
But I don't have no luggage.
Somebody can see your luggage.
So when y'all coming out there?
It's better for you to go to the Blackout than not go at all.
No, it's not.
It's not.
So you mean I got to wait 4 days?
Well, it's either go or bitch, you ain't gonna have no fun.
Yeah, I wasn't buying it, but
Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's Kevin and Mikkel, and today we have a special guest on our show. He is Ernest Owens. Let me tell you something. I've been trying to get him to come on our show for a good year and a half, but our schedules never work. We would just always see each other out in public. You know, I was like, well, when are you coming on our show? But when are you coming on my show? I'm gonna come on. You know, I want to come on his show too. He has a show that comes on public access, right?
yeah, Philly Camp.
It's called Earnestly Speaking. He's a Penn alum. He writes for the Metro. He writes for Huffington Post. He writes for who else? Because you are everywhere. Your articles are everywhere.
I'm the editor of G Philly for Philadelphia Magazine.
Yes.
And some of my work is on Philly Boys, WHYY, USA Today, my website.
Look, he's everywhere. He's always writing something controversial.
Yes.
All over, and you know, people are talking about it. And last night he did he tweeted Justin Timberlake, because Justin Timberlake said that.
Well, let me just say this real quick. One of my favorite articles that you wrote was last year when the Pope came and how you got.
Oh yes,
yeah.
no.
I was at work reading that and how you got the mayor together.
Oh yes, no, that was
Word for
no, that
word,
was real.
it
I was
real.
like,
everything you
thank
said in that
you.
article, I was sitting there reading it with my glasses on, like.
yes. He doesn't talk to me anymore because of that. And
Well, it was true. We didn't.
he was mad about
We
that.
did all that and didn't make any money.
No. The restaurants left.
And I work on South Street, and I spent the weekend at work. There was nobody. The only people that was on South Street was the National Guard.
Oh my God.
There was nobody patronizing.
When I was
the street on
covering
South
it in
Street.
Center City, it was crazy because it was like bicycles.
Yeah.
Everybody was just riding bicycles.
Right.
And I kept telling people, the pilgrims that were there, the religious people, they weren't trying to go out to these
No,
restaurants. They
were
want
bringing-
Wawa's,
right. Right.
McDonald's. That was the only
Right.
place that was packed.
There's a
You know?
restaurant that's across the street from my job, and they said that they lost so much money because they had bought so
much food
Right.
and everything.
And then they lost money because of the fact that, you know, they were thinking that these people were going to stay. And a lot of people, the Philadelphians vacation, you know, they were on Pocation.
Right.
I wasn't on Pocation. That was one of the highest paid days
Right.
of my career because I was meeting everybody.
But it was like we couldn't go out nowhere.
No.
You couldn't drive
That's why people
anywhere.
from Philly left.
You can't park in front
But
of
you
your
could have gotten
house.
some reservations and some restaurants in Center City if you always wanted to go to. That was downtown. But
And the hotels was high as hell. It was just too much going
well,
on.
they lost more money than Sandy, they said. I think Hurricane Sandy, they said they
Sandy?
lost more money.
Wow.
Restaurants lost more money.
Wow.
Because the reason why is because, like you said, they had to buy extra food,
Right.
and then they have
nobody was
business.
buying it.
So you had
Well, yeah, I just wanted to say that to you.
Thank you.
I don't know if I ever said that to you then, but I just remember
No, I
reading that
appreciate
day,
it.
and I was just like, oh wow.
And this is just crazy because I just seen his ass on Friday night.
Yes.
And Fridays on the rooftop.
Yes.
And I was like, when are you coming back on the show? And then after last night, I was like, oh yeah, we definitely gotta get
Look, I was ready. I said, all right, we're gonna make time. I'm killing it right now. The real price everybody won, but I said, look, I'm a man of my word, and I think it's probably the only show where I get to have the time to really. You know, say what I want to say, how I want to say it. Because, you know, you go on these interviews, the segments, and it's like 15-minute segments. They take part of your words. You know, most of the anchor really wants all the attention. So it's fun and we get to talk about it. Yeah, I'm excited.
So last night was the 2016 BET Awards.
Yes.
I did a video about it last night.
Loved it.
I see a lot of people didn't like what I had to say about it.
I appreciated it.
A lot of people didn't like it, but let me tell you something. I didn't enjoy all of the Prince tributes. I just wish I'm not saying they should have only done the music that we know, but I mean it was just a lot of the music I didn't know. I didn't know what the hell Erykah Badu was saying.
Sheila E. stole it.
Yeah, she
He's the
did
best
a
man.
great job.
Yeah, the funny is, the closer the people were to Prince, the better the performance were. Sheila stole it. The best was for last when she held the guitar up at the end with the lights and said, "This is what he really wanted." It was his heavenly grace. That was the only tribute. No one has to do anything else. The Grammys don't have to really do anything else. I thought she was the best. I mean, you know, it was interesting at one part. Did you see the part where Fantasia was just looking at Jennifer Hudson performing, and I'm just sitting here looking like, she's something looking like, this should be me up here. That's the whole vibe I was getting from that whole back and forth. I was like, why do you keep showing Fantasia like is Fantasia gonna come up on stage like she did for like the, I think it was a Patty you know, tribute, and I was just sitting there thinking, you know, they could have, I don't know.
I actually enjoyed the Prince tribute.
All of them?
Well, I didn't see all of them.
Okay,
I actually
yeah, no,
didn't see. I didn't see the whole show.
What?
I didn't. Part of the
didn't
show.
miss anything.
Well, see, part of the show I wasn't even in the house. I was only in the house for when it first came on, and then I left out, and then I came back. But
I dozed off during Alicia Keys.
yeah, when
I was over her.
Yeah,
I
when
was
I came
over
back,
that.
I
I don't
didn't
know
even
what she
see.
was doing.
But the parts of Prince, I think the last tribute I think I saw was Maxwell's.
Which I wasn't a big fan.
Yeah, but see, and you know what? A part of me, I get what you're saying about the song choices, but I actually appreciated the fact that they were doing a lot of songs that were not popular because Prince was much more than just the songs that we knew, and it was very evident from the audience because a lot of those audience members was singing right along, and I was like, well, damn, they know this song.
Yeah, I feel like
That was a Prince tribute for our parents. That wasn't a Prince tribute.
Yeah, but Prince, I mean, it's just like when we interviewed Brandy for the first time, and I made the reference to Moesha, and she got a little upset because but that's what I grew up on. Well, she didn't like the whole. Yeah, I said, well, I said something, and Tisha Campbell too from Martin.
Yes.
She got a little upset with me too.
Well, you know why? But you know why though? That but you know why that was though.
No, but
because I don't know why Brandy should about Moesha because that was like iconic.
Yeah, that was my childhood.
I mean, she should. It's like.
But I think, a lot of people. What I'm trying to say is Prince was just so much more than just Purple Rain and the Beautiful Ones, and so he had other catalogs of music, and I think had they just done those popular songs, a lot of people would have been like, well, what about this particular song, and what about what I mean? But I appreciate the fact that they dedicated the show to Prince. Like, I like that.
I like that it was dedicated to Prince. I think that they could have showed like Prince clips before and after commercial.
They tried at some point they showed a little bit, but it wasn't. I don't know. It didn't feel like it didn't feel like when Michael Jackson did the tribute with him and Jamie Foxx. It just felt like
that's what they was throwing that show together.
It felt like the theme was just all. I just felt like the whole theme was.
Yeah, because Michael Jackson had just died, right?
Yeah.
And then the following year they let Chris Brown come, right?
No, that was the same performance, and he cried like a baby.
No, that was the
2010.
That was the following year.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
nobody wasn't featuring Chris Brown during
2009. Yeah, because that Rihanna thing.
Oh yeah,
he couldn't do nothing.
But yeah, I mean, I liked it.
I was happy that they had the usual suspects. I was happy not to see Chris Brown's face at all during the entire show.
And he didn't even win a BET
award. No, he didn't, and that's right. He didn't even win the fandom.
Listen, I will say this. I loved Jennifer Hudson's performance.
Yes.
I really did. And I know a lot of people really wasn't here for it.
She gave us a
I got chills too. And I'm not even that big of a J Hud fan. But I just got the chills, especially when she was walking off the stage and she was still giving it to you, because I really felt like she really feels what she's singing. Like, it really was a tribute to him. And I really felt like Prince was up in heaven shouting with that. Because I was about to get up and start shouting. I really liked her.
Fantasia felt like getting up and shouting.
And Fantasia's my girl. So either one of them would have did a good job. But I just think that to hear Jennifer Hudson sing Purple Rain, in her churchy style, it was different for me, and I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it.
For all, she just, I don't know, she always on something. It was like last year. It was 2 years ago. I went to the BET Award. That was when Beyonce trolled everybody with that Partition clip. I was mad. I was excited. But it's different. Seeing like that when she was trying to perform that new music off the album J Hood that no one bought.
You walk it out.
It's your love.
She was really trying to go with
it was. I don't know what she was doing. And she had an Iggy Azalea feature on the song. I was like, what are you doing? But it was something about that performance. But it was she just. it was forgettable. And it was like everything. She was at the Tonys that year, performed. She was at the Oscars that year. She was at all these shows, and she came to Wawa Made in America.
But you
and she was overexposed, and I was like, but there's no.
But you know what it is?
Overexposed.
Yeah, it is. But you know what it is with J Hud?
And sometimes she doesn't have the range.
I think no, she no.
I'm not gonna do my girlfriend
No,
like
she doesn't.
that.
It's true.
Not today.
It's not a
Not
lie.
today.
It's not. It's very true. That's why I was shocked by last night. I was like, oh,
it was a miracle.
And she hit all the good right notes. But I think with Jennifer Hudson, we really, it seems like with her, we really love her for songs that she's covering rather than her own stuff.
I was gonna say that.
Like, cause I can't even tell you a song of hers that I'd be like, oh wow, that performance was.
Spotlight was alright.
But I'm saying as far as performance wise,
Oh.
most of the performance that she's done live on
Whitney
TV
tributes.
are like tributes, like, and they're great. But then, what is a great performance of hers?
Jennifer Holiday tributes.
She's gonna have to get it together. And I hope she watches this.
Yeah, please.
I hope she watches
I
this
want
and come out with some great music, some good R&B music. That's what you need.
Don't do gimmicks.
She sampled,
Don't
she
give us
tried
this
to do a
disco
little,
pop crap.
yeah, she tried to do something different with the last album, but just stick to your roots.
Just give us
Stick to what you
vocals.
know.
I just want a good album with just vocals.
But she
vocals.
could dance. I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing her dance.
No,
if she
no.
do a
Vocals.
dance pop, but not
Just
like
stand and let the mic
that
and
other one
let the
was
mic
just
lead
older.
you.
It's
Just
like
let the
an
mic
older
lead
sound.
you.
It's
I
like
just
a disco, like no disco, just
no.
pop it R&B. Because I mean, she got the.
I think she was just showing off on the body. I think she was feeling her
body.
body. I think she was just feeling her body at the moment, and just felt like that was gonna come with
The
extra.
sexiness and all of that.
Jennifer
Skill
Hudson
and-
is a singer, and I don't want to see her getting up there dancing. I agree. Sing.
Yeah.
Just sing.
Vocals.
Because we already got the dancers.
But you gotta do more than that to sell a record. You just
That's
can't
not-
sit there and
no,
sing.
no.
Adele just stands there.
Let me tell you something. That's
With a
something
wig
all
and
the way-
eyelashes.
That's something all the way
Adele.
down. That's
Oh,
something
yeah, you're
all the way
right.
down.
Adele stands
You're
there,
right.
bad eyelashes.
But
That's
you-
a
but we not
choreography.
but we not buying the music
But you-
when they just stand
No,
there. and sing.
no, listen.
What?
But you listen. Because wait a minute, I 2,000% agree with you.
Yeah.
Because why is it that Adele can just stand here and sing, but Jennifer Hudson can't? Why she gotta dance?
Because she has to like appeal
No.
to more people.
All Jennifer has to, well, no, appealing to more people is making good songs.
Here's
and
a
better
fact.
songs.
Here's a fact. Jennifer Hudson sold more money when she wasn't dancing, and sold more albums when she wasn't dancing than when she was dancing.
Jennifer Hudson could have sang "Hello."
Yeah, anybody can. Any black
Yeah, but what I'm
artist
saying,
can
but what
that.
I'm saying is,
But will they get played on the radio?
no. But see, that's the thing. But
And if
why?
it's not
But
being
why
played
does she
on the
have
radio,
to? But why does she
nobody's
have to
gonna
dance? Why does she have to get up and dance like a court jester just to sell
Oh,
music?
she ain't got to be a court jester.
But I'm just saying.
But I mean,
you're saying dance.
it ain't nothing wrong with dance popping up.
It's
your
nothing
music.
wrong. But that's not
No.
Jennifer Hudson.
That's not her though. That's
Jennifer
not what she's
Hudson is
selling.
a churchy type of girl. Like, I don't want to see her doing it. Like, for instance, I mean, when Whitney Houston did it, it was cute, but that wasn't Whitney Houston.
No,
That
it
was
wasn't.
not. But
It was cute, but it
got
wasn't
some cute
her.
little dance songs
That's
too.
what. That's
Yeah,
what
but when you see Fantasia perform, you don't see her dancing.
All
She
I'm
sings.
saying to give is that fans and music lovers know when an artist is doing something they shouldn't be doing.
Right.
Fantasy Ride.
Don't you?
I'm just gonna-
He been waiting to get
I just
on
want to
her.
say that. I just want to
He
say
been waiting to get on
It-
Sierra
that's-
for a long
because
time.
I'm tired.
I've
I'm
been
over it.
tired.
I'm tired. I'm tired.
Listen, I went to sleep, woke up, and went back.
I've been tired of that.
But she
And
could
the
have
only
been
reason
somebody
why
that
I'm talking
performed
about it
last
now
night.
is
No.
because
I would
Russell-
say-
what
I
I'm-
would
No, and
prefer to
the tribute
see-
and the tribute
I don't
that
know
she
what his
did.
name is. I
That
just know he's
I was
talented.
waiting for her to give you that Janet tribute.
Don't do that.
And
What?
That
That Janet tribute? That Janet shaded the hell out of her.
Right.
Janet could have came out there and danced with that girl.
I wouldn't.
She could have.
I wouldn't.
She could have.
She should
Because I
have
was
stayed
waiting
behind
for
the
that.
screen. She shouldn't even show the face.
Well, maybe
the
that's-
background silhouette, just I don't know what she was
Well,
doing.
maybe Janet was still pregnant at that time.
I'm excited about the long
You-
hair. The long hair. I'm excited about the long hair. That's all I'm excited about.
I'm excited.
I see her
I
long
would-
hair
I would
and her gown.
prefer-
Be a model. Just be a model.
No,
Everyone said it.
no,
Stay a model.
no. Don't stay a model. Do your fucking singing career.
Who gonna buy it?
Do modeling.
Buy the album.
Do everything.
Buy the singles. Buy the
fans.
charts. And I'm gonna talk what
That's
fans?
the same thing.
Where?
That's the same thing. So what else should J-Lo? I mean J-Lo should do because nobody's buying her albums either.
She should
Go
sing.
back to vocals.
Right, sing.
And Sierra should just go to fashion because
Right.
No.
her era, the era that she was the princess
No.
of Crunk. Crunk is now deceased.
Sure.
So that
Tell
was
it.
her trend. Her trend was the
Tell
princess
it.
of Crunk.
Tell
That
it.
was what made her hot.
Ain't nobody
And then
crunking no
the
more.
sad thing
We
about
really
her-
rocking. We ain't crunking.
She left that, and then she didn't transfer. Then she tried to go to be she wanted to be the Black Britney, and then that failed.
I don't think she tried to be no Black Britney.
Circus, Love and Sexy Magic. She was in that same zone. She was trying to be a black pop princess.
She already was a pop princess.
That wasn't pop princess.
When she came out with her stuff, everything she came out with was a hit.
Yeah,
But that should make that out.
She had like 7 songs that was a hit off the bat. So then she come out, I don't know what happened.
Well, how somebody with 7 songs that were hits or where she's at
when the radio stopped playing your music?
But why they stopped playing?
They stopped playing her music because she changed her image and she lost her
How she
fan
changed
base.
her image?
When she did Love and Sexy Magic with Justin Timberlake,
That song made her.
I like that song.
That song gave her a hit because she kept trying single after single after single, and it wouldn't pop for her.
Fantasy Ride was the moment when
And I
you
like
knew.
the video too.
Fantasy Ride, the album Fantasy Ride was the moment when you knew her career was gonna go in a different direction. The commercial success, it was not a good follow up after the Evolution. Evolution was to me her highlight. I feel like every artist that we like, their second album is always that album. For me, B-Day was that album for Beyonce.
Did you think Thriller was that album?
The Evolution, yes, her second album.
Okay.
Who else? Adele's 21. Every artist, Michael Jackson, Janet Control, Whitney's album. I mean, every second album I feel like is always like the big album. I mean, we know, but we don't count. I mean,
Warwick's.
even
Oh no!
Rihanna, it was Rihanna's third album.
Deja Vu.
Okay.
Oh my
but
God.
No, every artist, all of our favorite artists, most of their second albums tend to be the album that like makes or breaks.
Even Tamar's second album.
Okay.
What? Listen.
Oh, that, yeah,
Listen.
yeah.
He said it, not me. Because I wasn't going to say
I was Tamar.
Listen,
Yeah, no.
I'm going to keep talking.
I'm going to ignore
Alright.
that. Overrated.
We done forgot about the BET Awards. Lord,
did.
wait.
Everybody forgot about the BET Awards. I said Jessica.
But can I say
Everybody
something?
forgot about
I would have
Big
preferred
Party
to see a Sierra performance over.
Beyonce forgot it after she performed.
That's what I would
She
like
forgot it
to
after
see.
she performed.
And then she got her mother up on the stage
Beyonce?
and lied and said that she was on her way to London.
I think
But
she's
on her way back home.
Or back home. Either one. Either home
Look,
or that place.
how about this? Anything that wasn't the BET Awards, that's what she was at.
Yeah. Because she was in that car driving home.
No, she was on.
I'm surprised BET didn't even promote that she was
Beyonce
coming.
said,
No.
bitch, you're going to allow my dancers to get spotlight on this red carpet.
Okay.
I really say this, you know, I think that's
Okay.
some shade, but you know, some shade with that, because did you see what happened with BET? It was the article. Remember I told you about the article about they were saying anti was better? I'm not going to get into that, but I'm a loyal follower of the Navy, but I will just leave that to myself. But anyway,
Have that conversation.
I'm going to have that conversation in a minute. I don't, you know, I've been beefing with the Beehive for a long time. Me and Beyonce, both from Houston. I went to her high school before, but she didn't graduate. We know she went to HSBVA. A-Leaf Elsick High School. I was class president of Victoria, class of 2010. Wikipedia it. She was at that school. I'm just gonna let these facts.
You will not.
But I'm from Houston, so I can
she just
say
had
that.
a sold out show.
Okay.
What part?
Lincoln Financial Field.
Huh? Southwest Side.
Graduate or
Yeah.
no graduate.
I'm just saying.
You better not.
But let me just get this together.
Okay.
She had this album. I mean,
You're not.
I'm not doing
This
it.
is
Look, a person came out on BT and said,
You better keep sticking trying
I'm just
Sierra.
saying,
Try her.
the bloggers said that, you know,
No,
that
my watch.
Anti was a better album, and it was a thing. You tweeted it, I tweeted it, and then they changed it, and then they took that article down, replaced it, the hyperlink. They replaced the hyperlink. And replaced it with a "We take Beyonce for granted." And I said, "Look, BT, I know you thirsty for ratings, but you shouldn't have done that."
Right.
And they just played Rihanna because Rihanna came from Black
And
Girl
then she
Rock.
didn't even
And I-
perform.
No.
Rihanna didn't even perform.
No.
When is Rihanna gonna perform at the BET Awards? She only has
She
one
comes and makes
performance.
appearances because she came for Black Girls Rock, but she didn't perform for that. And then she came
I
last
thought
year.
she was honored at Black Girls Rock.
She was. She
got
came,
this
but she
year.
didn't perform though.
She got a fashion award.
Yeah,
She
yeah,
deserves
icon. Yeah, she's
Yeah.
Than other people who've gotten fashion awards recently.
Well,
Beyonce.
listen.
I'm just coming.
Everybody's
agree?
listen, because everybody's fashion is different. Because there's some fashionable people out there that I wouldn't look twice at.
She
okay?
campaigned for that award. She
Who
campaigned for her award. Like,
Well,
she
let me
campaigned for
tell you
acting career.
Well, let me tell you
That's not
something.
no joke.
She campaigned for what? What I do?
I don't have to
No,
say
you
nothing
got the
but
other
just
word.
look
She
back.
campaigned for her acting.
Well, that's what you do. That's what you do.
All
You
I'm gonna say,
campaign.
I'm gonna say it like this: it's gonna be a cold
Let
day.
me tell you
It's gonna be a
something.
cold day in hell the day that she gets an Oscar for Viola Davis and
Oh no,
Angela
Beyonce's not getting no.
Okay.
No,
She's
she's not getting no.
acting,
Oscar.
no.
No, she's not
She
getting
better
no
stick the
Oscar.
song.
Yeah.
Sam Smith
She's not getting no
and
Oscar.
Bill, they get Oscars for songs.
But see,
Write a song for a movie.
the thing
Write a
is,
song for a movie.
but see, I think as a true Beyonce fan, I'm not even expecting an Oscar for her acting. I mean,
That's
come on,
a good.
just-
You're a good saying.
Well,
behind
because
it.
it's like, first of all, acting is not her best forte.
It's
just
not.
not. Making music and performing is That now,
Absolutely.
if there was Oscars for live performances, Beyonce should have about 16 of them by now. Okay?
Yeah.
If they were, if it was, don't do that. Okay.
I mean,
I've seen your girl
good.
in concert.
I'm not gonna say
Who
anything
is your
about
girl?
my
Rihanna.
I live for her.
She's cute. Don't get me wrong. Rihanna's cute in
Listen,
concert.
all I'm saying
But
is,
she is no Beyonce.
Made America.
But it's fun.
Made America. She's fun. I like
Rihanna's very fun.
Rihanna is, but see, this is the
But
thing about.
Beyonce gives you this is how it should be.
I read about this
Not
this.
fun.
But this is what I read about is that we gotta let Rihanna exist because see the joke is everybody use these pop white girls, Selena Gomez, all them. I mean we don't probably, but a lot of people let them be them and no one puts them to the standard to Beyonce. I would love to have a black female pop artist. A genuine female black pop artist, and I think that Rihanna is that. I think that in this avenue where all these other artists can be mediocre, and Taylor Swift can get all these Grammys and awards for that kind of music and don't have to be expected to sing well at all, why can't we let Rihanna embrace that pop culture?
I don't think there's no,
stardom?
but I don't think
they don't let
Rihanna.
I'm not saying y'all, but I'm just saying I'm not saying that about y'all. I'm just saying that people don't let Rihanna be that pop icon. Like the standard to which they hold it. Like when Janet was out, no one was telling Janet or Madonna or any of these other people, you need to be like Whitney. Whitney was her own lane. Michael Jackson was their own lane. Mariah was her own lane. I think that Rihanna has her own lane that is just as necessary and needed for this music industry. You don't get 14 #1 hits.
No.
Under 30 if you're not doing something remarkable.
Can I be honest with you? Can I just say something to you?
That her label was buying all of those singles back in the day.
Listen, he said not me. He said not me.
Like Beyonce follows behind awards.
I don't need Rihanna to be like Beyonce.
How you have number one single after number one single after number one single, and it took you like 10 years to get a #1 album?
Come on, Kevin.
I'll tell you why. You know why? Because it's the same way a lot of artists do. Singles in this day and age, more people the same way Drake. Drake was having more hits, but Drake had more albums, but it didn't add up to his singles. A lot of people out here single artists.
That must be certain artists because Taylor Swift and Adele, they go straight to #1.
I mean because they're white. They're white because they're white.
Well, what does that have to do? Well, why is it because they're white?
Because at the end of the day, most of the time, look at Beyonce. Beyonce is like it's either a hit or miss artist.
Let me tell you something. But let me tell you something
to the people that's buying
the last. I'm sorry to cut you off, Ernest, but
yeah.
You got to go quick. Okay.
No, I'm waiting.
Listen, because when you said that's because they're white, because it kind of brought me back to with this whole stadium tour thing that Beyonce's on. The only black artist that I can remember doing stadiums was Michael Jackson. If I can recall. Every other artist that was doing them was those white bands.
No,
like
you're right.
U2 and the Rolling Stones. They were doing stadiums. Michael Jackson was like the only black artist that I can remember that fuck arenas. This bitch was doing stadiums and he was selling out. Now, Beyonce's doing stadiums. Is it because she's black that she's doing the stadiums, or is it because she's good?
I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you two things that I've done from your opposition. One about music is that in our industry, music has two different types of lenses. There are singles artists and then there are album artists. And Rihanna, before Anti, I think Anti is an album. She's proven that she can be both with this album, and I'm very proud of her. But before this album, Rihanna was more of a singles artist. That's how she made her bread and butter. That's how she climbed to the top. Everybody know that with the type of artist, a pop artist, most pop albums, like solo pop albums, don't sell well because a lot of times they don't have that much cohesion. Only really good pop albums really top the charts and sell. You really observe. Most of them don't do that. Well, they have a good single.
But it can't go to #1.
I mean,
as she is.
No, because the reason why is because I just think that. Well, also you gotta look at the weeks that she was scheduled. No, but you have to look at the weeks that she was scheduled. You have to look at the people who she would be on the same.
No. That's an excuse.
I was getting ready to say that. You make excuses. Because you just said it out of your mouth. She's an icon.
She is.
Now, icons are supposed to be able to sell. I don't care what, because let me tell you something. The Navy will get you together. The Navy will get you together. Okay, that's why I love them for Coast Guard. They will get you together. Okay, but she's not doing iconic stuff.
Let me bring it back.
She's not. Having 14 #1 singles or whatever you just said.
She's now the third.
Well, okay, but then why isn't those numbers generating to
Okay, the same reason why hasn't Beyonce had a #1 hit since Single Ladies?
You know what her #1 hit is? You know what since Single Ladies, want me to tell you?
See how they gonna distract?
Want me to tell you?
Deflect.
You want me to tell you?
Go ahead.
The Formation Tour is her #1 hit.
See how we distract with tours?
Beyonce has but you know what Beyonce said?
Like
About a Dream, Life About a Dream, she said out her own mouth, I'm not a singles artist.
Oh, now she's not.
No.
Now she's not.
But if you think about it, Beyonce never really was, because every album she came out with, it was always one number one.
Not true.
It's not like she.
Not true. Dangerously in Love 5.
5 number 1.
No, it
Yes.
wasn't.
Yes. Naughty Girl. I can name them. Naughty Girl.
Oh, well, maybe you're right.
Crazy in Love. Crazy in Love.
Yeah, but
was
after,
one of the biggest hits
but
of
after
her
Dangerously
career.
in Love, then what? It was like one single per album.
Deja Vu. Then after that, I Am Sasha Fierce came out, and then she had a bunch of top 10. And then it was
I'm
single
talking
that
about
was the
number
main
one
one.
single.
No, I know what you're saying. But I mean, even then,
I think
she hasn't had that many.
got
She hasn't
7
even
number 1
had.
singles, period.
Period.
Right. But the thing that I love about that is that while the rest of us will say, oh, well, you know, how come Rihanna has more than Beyonce? How come Beyonce's not out there? But Beyonce has proven to you that, listen, I'm not really about that. I'm about making this music and going on tour and collecting my coins and showing y'all rather than talking to y'all about it. Because Rihanna can tell you how many times she has all these
I
posts.
agree with you.
But she's not, and I love the fact that y'all stand hard for her with the icon stuff. But she's not doing anything
iconic. But
iconic.
she's in a different. I don't agree with that. I think.
What is
that,
she doing iconic?
Okay, I'll say several things she's doing iconic. One is that she's occupying a space in pop music that no black female artist has really done in a long time.
Like what?
Like, what you mean, like who?
Like what? I said like
I mean, I would say in the last 10 to 15 years, I have not known not one black female artist that's strictly pop. That's dominating the pop space.
That's not iconic, though.
But that is iconic.
No, it's not.
Because who? All the girls. I mean, if you look at where they are now, the only two major black female artists that we're talking about in music, period, right
Is
now,
Beyonce and
and
Rihanna.
Rihanna.
Yeah.
And I think for her to do that and not be on some crazy high vocal level type things. I mean, she's knocking out the Katy Perrys, the Gagas. I mean, this is a big deal.
Yeah, but
it's been
that
done
isn't.
before.
But that, yeah, it has been done before.
And
Let me
what-
just say
and what
something. I agree with you. No, and let me tell you something. No stretch of the imagination. I'm not going back and forth about Beyonce being more
It's
iconic with
true.
Rihanna. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is with the iconic thing with Rihanna, I agree with you. I think that Rihanna is that black pop princess or whatever you want to label her as.
Right.
Because we get upset when she's nominated at these award shows and it's for R&B. Like Rihanna's
No,
not
that's
R&B.
what I'm saying.
Like I don't understand why they nominate her in any R&B category, because she, to me, is pop.
But I'm gonna tell you about let me add this. But that's what I think is also special about Rihanna from the get-go. And what I want to add to the conversation that she has been consistently a solo artist that's maintained this level of relevance from day one. While many other people's faves, including Mr. Timberlake, has had to ride off the backs of being in the group to distinguish themselves.
But wait a minute. Am I going to get him or are you going to get him? Because I'm trying to get him. Let me tell you something. When Justin Timberlake, when people like Justin Timberlake and Beyonce, because the two of them, they came from groups, they came out at a time when groups were popular in the 90s. Groups were popular. That's why I don't understand in 2016 why people are still coming out with groups. That's just my opinion. Right. But in the 90s, groups were popular. And so that's where Justin Timberlake and Beyonce came from. Now, because the groups parted ways, like many, if not all groups do, those two were able to, continue to go higher and higher. Right. Now, they didn't go higher and higher simply because they came from this group. They went higher and higher because they were talented.
I they were doing while they were in the group.
I disagree.
Because they wrote, produced,
that's fine.
All of that stuff.
But no.
And the camera was always focused on them.
Yes,
now let's be honest. But let's not say that those were platforms for them. But they always the stars. They were always stars from the beginning.
Yes. No.
Even they both were on Star Search, and you already seen who the stars were. It was already written in the stars for them to be stars, no matter what group they came from.
With
they were going to be popular.
With NSYNC, JC wasn't marketable. They didn't market him even though he had the most talent in the group. The way that they did with
who was the most marketable? Justin Timberlake. Okay.
Well, they made him. Anybody can be. A second can be made.
Well, can somebody come and make me to be more marketable?
And they just made designer last night. I mean, anybody could be. Anybody
can run around.
If you got the right team.
But listen,
and then you got the right. I don't agree with that. You got the right
team. Hey man, you
got the right team, you can get some buzz. All I'm saying is that
but don't do Beyonce like that because after she left Destiny's Child, her star grew even bigger than what it was. Listen, it grew even bigger than what it was than when she was in Destiny's Child.
Because she already had a base. She already had a sound.
No, as she got older, her fan base. All I'm
gonna say is, I will promise you now, it would be interesting to see if she came into the genre, into the business, like a solo artist back then without a group. Would she have had the posture?
Well, I would have the same question for Rihanna. If she would have came in the group, do you think she would have been big today? If she came in the group?
I don't know. Look at the stats.
How come you know what Rihanna, but you don't know what Rihanna?
No, look at the stats. It sounds like she would have.
But they both were talented. I don't understand how you feel.
Britney Spears still relevant. Christina Aguilera is still relevant.
Like Christina?
Brandy is still relevant. Have some.
Christina's still relevant. She's on a popular show.
Listen, they are still around.
Yes.
My thing is they are still around. They are still around.
But
Maya is like the only one. Maya is like the only one from our era that really fell off.
Right. And she was at the BT Awards yesterday. She looked really nice too.
But I didn't see her.
I did. She on this nice yellow.
She's gonna have an episode of Ensemble for any of the girls.
Nobody has. No. All I'm saying is that nobody in our current memory has had this solo consistency. Straight solo consistency.
But a lot of people became famous from groups. Diana Ross.
I'm not talking about the group.
Michael Jackson.
I know the group.
Janet Jackson.
But you're not. You're distracted what I'm saying.
The whole damn plan.
Y'all don't listen. Y'all distracted from the point I'm making. I understand it. I'm saying that's what makes Rihanna unique in herself because as a solo artist from the jump, she's been doing this consistently.
That's because she didn't have a group.
Wait a
minute. Real quick. So wait a minute. Let's get this. Let's get this.
He's having a hard time though.
Yeah, he is.
But Rihanna's still going
Lord
strong.
knows I don't know what songs he's
But Rihanna is still going strong.
But
it's
listen,
hard to
can I ask you this? So are you saying because Rihanna has come out as a solo artist and she's been in the game for what 10 plus years now, that somehow that makes her a little bit better than people like Beyonce and Justin?
Well, I didn't say she's better than them.
Well,
I'm just saying that I think it's remarkable. No, I'm saying that it's remarkable. I think that's a unique facet of her career but
look how many times they had to change her image.
Well, that's how you evolve. Ask Madonna, ask your faves, ask Beyonce. Her hair gets blonder.
Okay, but it's still blonde, bitch.
Well,
but it's still blonde.
But
Rihanna has not. She has died. She has taken out. She has put in.
Finally, Rihanna goes back to getting cornrows after a couple of hundreds of millions. When you thought you was gonna see Beyonce in cornrows again?
Because Beyonce was about to get back on that damn stage.
That's what I'm saying though. She came back to form. How many years later? All I'm saying is that every artist, every real artist that's good should evolve.
I can pull up plenty of pictures of Beyonce recently in cornrows.
I'm just saying, but that's part of her new era right now. She's on the pro-black era. She's probably acknowledging that now. Like seriously,
so you think she's not marketing now?
No,
she's capitalizing off of the current weight of what's hot in music, and she's riding off of Kendrick, and they both working together.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I don't think anything wrong with that. But I'm just saying,
no, but you said no.
I want to hear Beyonce speak about
but let me tell you
something.
But let me tell you something. But let me tell you something, because I said this before. There's a lot of people. There's a lot. No, it's not about. It's not stunts and statements. A lot of artists speak through their music and their artistry. Excuse me. Look at Marvin fucking Gaye. When Marvin Gaye came out with what's going on during the Vietnam War, he didn't say not one fucking word. All he said was what's going on. And people knew what the hell he was talking about. He didn't have to make a statement.
Let me say this.
Why all of a sudden, because Beyonce's coming up with information, she has to make a statement.
Because
nobody challenged Marvin Gaye.
I'm going to tell you why.
Nobody challenged Aretha Franklin.
I'm going to tell you why. Because if you're trying to be you're trying to take on titles like
she has a huge platform.
You have the hugest platform. If you're
excuse me. Well, according to you, Rihanna has a much bigger platform.
I didn't say she wasn't big. I didn't say she didn't have a big platform, but she's out here talking to closeted kids, helping them come out and accept.
Closeted kids. We're not talking about closeted kids. We're talking about what's going on as a whole.
Can I say this? I would love to see Beyonce have a sit-down interview and talk about what's going on.
We all would love to see it. I would love to see it. But you know what? I would love to see it too. I would love to see Rihanna do it too.
No, she don't do it anymore.
She don't do it anymore. I would love to hear her speak and say.
Right.
I would love to hear Beyonce.
That's a problem right there.
That's not a problem.
So you get big enough, so the more big you are, the less you talk.
No.
It should be the opposite because you might need the help.
Don't do that.
You got power.
Don't do that. You know why I don't do that? Because when's the last time Janet Jackson had an interview? Other than, guys, I'm pregnant. Come on, don't do that. Janet Jackson don't never do that.
Janet been talking about this since the late 80s, early 90s.
But wait a minute.
So we don't know what she's saying.
But let's not act like all these these big artists, because Michael Jackson didn't do interviews like
Wait,
that.
I'm sorry, hold on.
Madonna doesn't do interviews like that.
Madonna's
No,
not black.
hold on.
But it doesn't matter.
Wait, let me clarify some things. Michael Jackson,
You are trying me
no.
on that left.
We Are the World was the highest selling
That was
single,
before
and it
I
all
was
went
born.
to charity.
Okay?
That's
I'm
all I
about
gotta
man.
say.
When the last time Michael talked?
Oh, don't do that.
I mean, well, you know what I mean.
Michael who?
But Jackson.
He talks, he donates, he's public about what he's done. He's always been a humanitarian. Everybody knows that.
But you know what's
Child
so funny?
Legend, all these artists have been there. They've
We
used it.
spoke
They
about that
compliment it.
before.
They've used it to compliment the work that they're doing. At the end of the day, all I'm
least
saying
he's
is
not
that
shy about
all
saying
I'm
he's a
saying
fan.
is that Beyonce. All I'm saying is that I like her. I like her.
No.
But I just think that it's just kind of disappointing that with someone with a big platform like this, when she do make big announcements, she's selling shit.
Yeah, but Rihanna don't make announcements either.
But-
like, come on, you
but
can't
Rihanna-
have you can't have your cake and eat it too, and then try to have somebody else's slice of cake.
I hear what you're saying.
You are saying that Beyonce has this platform and she don't use it. Well, when's the last time you heard Rihanna mention anything about Ferguson or Trayvon Martin or Eric
But
Garner?
she's not putting
You
in her
don't.
music in-
No, but it doesn't matter if she's putting in her music or not. She still has a huge platform like Beyonce, if not
All
bigger.
I'm saying
like
is
the lady
that
said.
it's all about how you
She's
brand.
not saying
no,
any of
it's
that.
all about how you brand yourself though, because
So why do you have to have?
No.
Why do you have to put it in your music in order for you to say
I
something?
think it's hypocritical that you branding yourself with a movement that you don't speak on.
How? You got a lot of these artists who brand themselves on stuff and they don't speak on, like, for instance, you got some of these artists that claim they're pro-gay, but they don't talk about how they are for the gays, or I support gay people.
I agree.
But what do you do?
But they're also not the biggest person in the entertainment industry. They're not the biggest one. My thing is, at the end of the day, either you gonna put Beyonce, lower the bar on Beyonce and put her down with the rest of these basic artists, or you gonna elevate her
I need you to make
a
up your mind.
standard.
Who's the biggest artist in the industry? Her or Rihanna?
I
You keep
acknowledge
flip-flopping.
it's Beyonce. I
Well,
acknowledge
just a few minutes ago
No.
you said Rihanna was iconic.
I'm saying she is iconic, but I don't say she's higher than Beyonce. Beyonce is clearly the most important artist in the industry. Period. But what I'm saying is that if you're gonna be heavy lies the crown, Queen B. Heavy lies the crown. You're gonna wear that crown. You're gonna be the biggest name. You're gonna talk about how you got this $1 billion on the elevator. Then you need to use that and talk about that.
Well,
You and your husband.
well,
Her husband says his
listen,
presence is charity.
Listen, let me tell you something.
Okay,
Let me
his
tell you
presence
something.
is
I need
charity.
you to, let me just tell you something,
His presence
Ernest.
is
His
charity.
presence
Let me
is
tell you
charity.
something.
That's what he said.
Well, mine is too. Let me tell you something, okay, Ernest? Let me just tell you something, okay? Because I need you to do your research. Because I know you're in the Coast Guard, but I need you to do your research, okay?
The Coast Guard, you trying it.
Go ahead. I'm gonna let him have it.
With them 14 singles.
I'm gonna let you have it. 14 number ones.
Oh, hey, listen, you better get me together for Beyonce and that #1
Clarify.
World Stadium Tour. Okay?
Now, is it true about
No, I
Rihanna
haven't
when
said
when
I
the stadium?
haven't said what I was going to say.
Go ahead, go
ahead.
And you just confused me just now. But anyway, I need for you to do your little homework, your research, because Beyonce does do charitable work, and she speaks out on a lot of things. Now, I'm not
Okay.
finished. I'm not finished. Okay. Kevin and I had this conversation probably about a year ago when we were talking about artists and people who donate and don't speak out about it. And I remember Oprah was talking about this one day, and she was saying how there's a lot of artists out there, including herself, that they donate and they do stuff for some things and they really don't speak up about it with others. And my thing is, I respect people, not just artists, but people who can donate or do charitable work without always boasting about it. Because we just learned that, believe it or not, and I got it in my text too, we just learned, my pastor just preached about that yesterday in church, about always boasting about what you do. And what you should, what it is you should have the actions and the way you live your life and do things speak for itself rather than you always speaking about it, Mr. Ernest, okay? Now, if you want to pick apples and cherries off the trees, you say that Beyonce doesn't do any of that. Like I said before, you don't see Rihanna doing it at all. And I don't think just because Rihanna doesn't make music about it that somehow she's exempt from speaking about
I'm
it.
not saying that.
Well,
But some
Kevin,
people choose not to use their platform to talk about that.
Right.
Just like our platform, like we speak on like gay issues and stuff, but our platform is not solely on the gay issue.
Right,
We
right.
speak about everything.
But I wonder,
and really quick, and I don't attend I'm sorry, 'cause, you know,
Yeah.
I really got
I don't attend every gay event,
Right.
and Kevin knows this,
Right.
but that doesn't mean that I'm anti-gay.
No.
You know what I mean?
Clearly
So
not.
just because I don't speak up about it does not mean.
No.
But I get what you're saying, because I would like to hear Beyonce speak up on certain things too. But I don't think that it's mandatory.
All I'm saying is
I don't think that's mandatory.
that you know, there was a movement in the 70s and 60s where you saw big, bold athletes, you know, Harry Belafonte, Muhammad Ali, all these great artists, these great musicians, athletes, they had they had a universal front and movement about these issues. And it is so easy to be silent about these things. And I get the point you're talking about boasting about the good things you do, but if they're gonna boast about the money they have, the clothes they have, I'd rather them boast about the good things.
Well, Harry Belafonte and Sammy Davis Jr. and all of them, they were actually activists, where they didn't just. I wouldn't call Beyonce an activist.
No.
I wouldn't call her that.
But I'm just saying
those were people that were activists.
But all I'm saying about
activists.
every activist gets taught. Every artist don't walk in woke. No one comes in.
No,
but they inform themselves. They utilize. They find sensible ways and smart ways. A good example is someone like John Legend. You find ways to be conscious and use it. You don't have to necessarily be the vanguard and take over a movement. But I think it's interesting when she picks and chooses that, because when feminism was hot conversation, then it was she was this feminist, and then she jumped on that.
Feminism has been hot since the 70s.
No, I know that, but I'm just saying the black feminism that's been talked about in recent years, she got herself on all the fronts. When the United Nations had it, she got herself on that podium, sung "I Was Here." She got people talking about water. I think it's interesting how artists do, but I'm just saying I think there's cowardice in how artists pick and choose what they want to. You can speak about LLS, you can dump water on your head, but then when it's time to talk about specific issues to the black community, the community to which started them and supported them when they didn't get on MTV, it seems like everybody then has to think about it and be selective. And then we as black, media content creators, we give them a pass and try to act like, it's complicated for them, but it's not complicated for them when it's these other issues, because she spoke about gun violence.
Who?
Beyonce. Well, she got on the video talking about gun control. Yeah, she talked about not this recent one, but when it was Sandy Hook, she got on the campaign about that. All I'm saying is these artists can be very selective about what they want to choose, but remember, they're silent when it comes to these black issues. When it comes to these other issues about breast care awareness and health care and feminism and all these other issues, they are very silent. All I'm saying is that if you're going to be silent about issues and you're not that political type of person, then just don't be political. But don't cherry pick it when it's especially about your fan base and community.
I'm sorry, for the past few years or 6 whatever years, it seems like every major big event that's come out where we had these kind of conversations, if memory serves me correct, Beyonce has been out there when the gay rights, she was out there supporting the gays with this whole black movement. I mean, she supported Trayvon Martin and his family, Eric Gardner and his family. I mean, there's a lot of things that she's doing that just because she's not getting in front of a camera and saying, "Oh, hi, I'm Beyonce and I just sat down with so-and-so." I mean, come on, like, why is it that, so what exactly do you want her to say? Because she's doing it, I guess she's not saying it to the camera. Like, what is it that you want her to say?
All I'm saying is that if you can make music videos and you can do all of that, put some meaning behind it. Put some words behind it.
I'm sorry, did we not understand information?
I'm not saying that we should, but I'm just saying it's just power in words. And I'm just saying that, unfortunately, we're already consumers of media, but when people see someone like that speak about those issues, unfortunately, they get more attention than the scholars and academics. When she took a step, we've seen when Beyonce has done those things and how powerful they are. And I just feel like at this point in the game, do it more often and do it more genuine. I mean, the fact that she quoted, you know what I'm saying, this author, this black feminist author wrote that book in Flawless, right? The whole quote. That made that woman's book a big bestseller. I just feel like Beyonce's kind of been insular a lot. Like, it always either reverts to her, and when she picks and chooses. I like to see her do more female collaboration with black artists outside of Nicki. Why don't you collaborate with black female artists? I'm just saying.
Let's leave it like this. We're going to get into part 2.
But who the hell, what black female artists does Rihanna collaborate with?
Nicki Minaj.
Okay, that's the same person Beyonce collaborated
No, I mean,
with.
she's doing she's working.
Come on, you know what?
Who else could you know?
When it comes to Rihanna?
RZA, I mean, have you heard Anti?
I mean,
That's
I was at the concert.
No one knew.
That's two?
She's
Come
got a
on.
song with Chantel.
Please.
Chantel, yes.
Man Down.
That's a lot of people.
With Beyonce, it's damned if you do.
Rihanna was always
and
collaborating
damned
when
if
she
you
first
don't.
came out.
It's
Always
damned
did.
if you do and damned if you don't when it comes to Beyonce. That's just
Let's
how
leave
it
it like
is.
that.
I guess.
Don't get